Boom, am I on there?
Yeah, you're on.
All right, I'm on there.
Thank you everybody for coming. My name is Amber Powell and I'm here to talk to you about getting children to make better decisions earlier on in life. All right? Children are entry-level adults. And I'm going to tell you how I came to that conclusion. My 9-year-old asked me if she could drive my car. And my initial response was, absolutely not. Are you insane? That's crazy. But as the conversation went on and she made her claim and she defended herself, I realized something. Her reasoning was pretty much on the level. She was almost convincing me. She almost had me going. I learned 2 things from this conversation. One, that she is very capable of being right. And 2, I should probably sleep with my keys under my pillow. But I did, in all seriousness, I did start to consider that maybe I should let her make some decisions for herself. And I'm not talking about relinquishing full control. Children absolutely need boundaries. I think these boundaries should be adjusted, however. So, for instance, let's take the example of asking a child, would you like to take a shower or would you like to take a bath? The child is still going to get clean, but they get the illusion of the option. They get to choose the manner in which that gets done. And that can help build their confidence later on down the line. Confident children become confident teenagers, and confident teenagers become confident adults. In a recent study from the University of Michigan, 60% of parents polled felt like their children showed characteristics that were barriers for their independence. 24% were not mature enough. 22% didn't have enough time. 14% either didn't take enough responsibility or they didn't know enough. With these characteristics, practice makes perfect. We have to allow the children to become comfortable in making decisions on their own. We have to allow them to become comfortable in taking accountability, especially when things don't go as planned. We also need to let them be accountable for budgeting their time better when it comes to projects from school and homework. It may be hard, but it's necessary. It's necessary for their growth and their development. We also need to allow them to be creative in their solutions. Fostering their creativity can allow them to think outside the box and become better adjusted adults making decisions. We also need to encourage questions on both ends. The more questions your children ask, the more you answer, the more they trust you as a source of knowledge. The more questions you ask, you can better gauge what they know versus what they think they know. And then we also have to remember that we need to explain simple concepts, because we often forget that children don't have the same level of knowledge that we do. This falls under the realm of respecting them as entry-level adults. We need to respect their space, their knowledge, their time. We tell our children often that they can be anything in the world that they want to be. And then we turn around and tell them, we'll do it. I'll take care of it. And that stifles them. And those actions essentially end up telling them the opposite of what we want them to take from that. Our little people will eventually become big people in big positions. But if we continue to treat them small, we will have small people in big positions. We need to practice respecting their space, as I said before, and according to a 2018 article from the Washington Post, 2 of the 6 things we should be doing is encouraging reflection, as well as having discussions about living with regret. Now, I gave birth 3 times, and none of which those times were to Jesus Christ. My kids aren't perfect. Your kids aren't perfect. They're going to make mistakes. Everyone messes up, and we need to give them room to do that, and more often, because reflection allows them to learn and grow and improve. And when they do that, they can improve their chances of facing what they failed the first time around. We arm our children with the power over their own destinies when we do this for them. Better decisions make for a better and successful launch into adulthood. And I know what you're thinking. They don't know what's best for them. But I implore you to consider this. If you want your child to be an Olympic athlete, when does training begin? Do you start to train them at the age of 5 or 2 years before tryouts are to take place? When are they going to be successful? And that same logic can be applied to decision making. The earlier we allow them to make the decisions and live with those before they become too permanent or irreversible, the better. Whitney Houston sang a mouthful when she said that the children were our future and we need to teach them well and let them lead the way. Let's give them the power of their own destiny. This can make the difference in who they choose to become in adulthood. Some of the greatest people that history has ever seen have had plenty of practice in making the decision to be great to begin with. I want to thank you all for coming out to listen to me speak. You've been a wonderful audience. Thank you very much.
Woo! Good job. Yay!
You've got some good points.